Good evening. Good evening. How are you this evening? Hope you've had an amazing day. What a weird day it's been, hasn't it? Has it been weird where you are? I don't know what the weather's been like where you are, but it's been beautiful, bright sunshine, really cold, chilling winds, snow. We've had every season under the sun today, I think. I think it's been that was the dog just standing up behind me. He will be tip-tapping around the room, as always. But you're used to that now, aren't you, if you've been joining me on a weekly basis? So I hope you're all doing really well. We're coming close to being released into the wild again. So that's exciting, isn't it? So I'll wait for a few seconds for people to jump on. If you are watching me live tonight, hashtag live. If you're watching on replay, hashtag replay. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know what's going on in your life. Let me know if this is any use to you tonight. So tonight, I am going to be talking to you about how to write engaging content. Many of the women that I work with, this is one of the biggest barriers that they have in terms of social media. I hear, I just don't know what to say. I struggle sitting down, trying to come up with lots of ideas for social media. So I can't solve that problem for you. You've got to do that. I can't give you an easy way to that. But I've created for you 7 top tips. So this looks like this. And if, as always, if any of you would like a copy of this, I've got it on JPEG or on PDF, then come into my inbox and let me know you'd like a copy, or put a comment below. You know, in the comments, just mention in the comments that you would like a copy of this, and I will drop a copy of that into your inbox. So I am Mandy Nicholson. I always introduce myself, even if you watch me every week. And I am a creative genius consultant, artist, and author, and I help creative women to launch, grow, and scale their business and make more money. I know I introduce myself every week, but for the newbies, the people that haven't watched me before, it's important they know who they're watching. So I'm going to start tonight by saying there is a method to writing engaging content on social media. But first of all, I can probably say quite boldly here, I'm always quite happy to say things boldly, is that this is possibly one of the biggest places that I see imposter syndrome turn up with the clients that I work with. And it's because, sorry, I just clicked the wrong button there. It's because obviously we are bombarded on social media by everybody else's content, and we look at it and we might think that's good and it looks nice and it looks pretty, or wish I could create that. I want you to forget all of that tonight. I want you to remove everything from your brain, because I'm going to say this to you first and foremost. You are your brand, and your story is your database. That's it. That's where we're going to start. Forget the pretty graphics that other people are creating. Forget the inspirational quotes that other people seem to be able to just pop up with ease. Forget this grid that looks gorgeous and this social media content that is envious. Forget it, because we're going to be talking all about you tonight. And I'm going to give you my 7 top tips, to creating the most engaging content. Starts with you. You are your brand. Your story is your database. So my tip number 1, and this is, you're going to think, oh, right, Mandy, you're not telling me anything I don't know, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Be you. Number 1, be you. Stop looking at everybody else. I'm telling you this now. This is an instruction from Mandy. Stop looking at everyone else and trying to be them. You need to be you, and you need to trust yourself. You are an amazing, interesting person. You've got lots of life experience. You've got lots of things that have happened to you that have not happened to anybody else. You've got lots of knowledge that you know that other people don't know. So top tip number 1 is you've got to have the absolute utmost confidence in the fact that you are enough. What you've got to say is enough, what you know is enough, and your talent is enough to show up and be engaging on social media. All right, so that's number 1, my top tip, be you. I come across so many women who say, oh, I wish I could be like you. I wish I could write like you. I wish I could work like you. Why would you want to do that? Because I'm me and you are you. I want you to be you. And that's what I encourage my ladies to do when they come and join me on the program. My second tip is, if you have something to say it. Say it loud, be bold, be daring, and be honest, and don't worry about upsetting people. Obviously, be sensible and don't say anything that is, racist, sexist, or anything else-ist that's going to upset people that should not be said, because that's not right. But be bold and be honest. If you want to call something out that's upset you or you think is wrong, then do that. Don't be afraid to do that. But be prepared for the types of backlash you're going to get if you say something contentious. There's nothing wrong with backlash. It's good. It's engagement. Engaging content starts with getting people engaged and getting them to comment on your post. So if you see an injustice, call it out. You disagree with something, call it out. Don't be frightened to do that. So if you have something to say it. That's number 2. My second tip to writing engaging content. My third tip, every single time you speak. So I want you to imagine that social media, all the different platforms, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, I want you to forget it's a platform and imagine it's you speaking. Okay, this is you talking to the world. Every time you speak, I want you to speak to your ideal client as if you're having a two-way conversation with them. Obviously, don't say the same thing all the time. You need to change the topic, change the pace, change the story up a bit, but speak to them all of the time. Talk to them as if you were having a conversation. That's how to start getting yourself into the habit of writing really good, engaging content. Forget that you're at a computer typing. Imagine you're in a room talking about the problem that you can solve for them. If you don't know who your ideal client is, that's your first job before you can do that. You've got to know who your ideal client is and what your niche area is. Now, if you struggle with that, there is a link in the comments above or to the side, wherever it is, that takes you to a free training on nailing your niche. Okay, so if you're not sure about that, sign up for that training, get the training, do the training, and do the work. You don't get anything without doing the work. So do the work on really knowing who your ideal client is. It's important. How can you talk to them if you don't know them? That's like having a conversation with a stranger, isn't it? It's awkward. And you're talking about the weather to make niceties instead of talking about what's darn important. So I'm talking to you tonight as my potential ideal clients, okay? And don't worry, if you're talking to lots of people and some of them aren't your ideal clients, the purpose of engaging content is to get rid of the people that are not your ideal clients and focus in on the people who are. That's the point of engaging content. It's a sieve. It's a sieve. It's a sifter. It gets rid of the people who are not going to work with you, and it keeps the people who are or potentially will in the future engaged enough to keep watching, listening, or taking a sneaky peek at your content. That's what you want. That's exactly what you want. So tip number 3, every time you speak directly to your ideal client. Tip number 4 is make a list of every single pain point that your ideal client has, okay? Put some work into this. So think about your ideal client. I'm going to use mine as an example because that's all I can do, but I'll use a different example as well. So my ideal client is a creative woman who lacks confidence, who has not made any real money from her business, who is not making any real money from her business, who doesn't know how to do it, who has amazing genius talent in her zone of genius, and who is extraordinary, but doesn't know how to do business as necessary. Okay, so what are her pain points? She lacks confidence, her self-esteem is low, there's imposter syndrome, there's comparisonitis, there's the thinking I can't do it because she hasn't done it, there's thinking people will judge her if she does something different. There's this long list that my ideal client has of pain points. So my job is to know what's on that list and to solve every single one of them. And when I write my content, to be speaking about those things so that I can tell my ideal client that I'm going to solve those problems. So let's use a different example. What if you sell makeup? All right, let's just say you sell makeup. What is the pain point of the person that you want to sell the makeup to? Is it that they are not feeling attractive enough, that they don't know how to use makeup, they don't know how to make the best of the features? I want you to write down absolutely every single minuscule pain point down to the minutiae of that potential ideal client and then solve them. And that creates the content, really, really good content for your social media posts. Okay, that will start to generate ideas. That's number 4, making a list of every single pain point for your ideal clients. Number 5, tip number 5, weave your story through your content. Weave, note the word weave. Let them know that they are not alone. You have a story, you are unique. Part of why you do what you do at the moment is part of your story. You will have had experiences in your life, you'll have had disasters in your life, you will have overcome adversities in your life. Tell your story. Here's what people are. People are nosy and they like to know what goes on behind the scenes. They like to know the big failures you've had in your life. They like to know the big successes. If you turn up all the time and talk about nothing but success, then they're going to get pretty bored and think you're a bit braggy. If you talk about nothing but failure, they're not going to be very inspired by you. You need to weave through your story all the elements that make up the amazing person that is you, because you are made up of all this different stuff that packages together to make the amazing you. So I quite often talk about 11 years ago, I lost everything, ended up with nothing, £30 in my bank account. However, in 2019, I bought my dream home for cash. What that says to people is, I failed big time. I went to rock bottom, but I also built my life back up. And here's how I did it. Why I tell that story is it inspires other people. They feel like they're not alone, that if they're in a dark place at the moment, they understand that I've been there. If they're on their way up to success, they understand that I get that and I've done that. So what's your story? Write it down. What's your story? You need to know your story so you can tell your story. Obviously, you don't want to rock up every time you write a social media post. And I shared last week the mix that you should have and how you should write your social media posts. And if you didn't see last week's live, watch last week's live, because I give you a bit of a formula for writing your social media posts, how you should break it down. So don't rock up and talk about you all the time, because you want to be talking to your ideal client. But talking to your ideal client and telling them your story so that they can resonate with you is a really great way of writing good, engaging content. So number 6, this is my favorite. I know you because I was you. And what I mean by that is 9 out of 10 times we are our own ideal client. So I understand my creative women because I was a frustrated creative who had a proper job, who didn't work in the creative space because I was scared because of society saying that you couldn't earn any money and the starving artists. I believed all of that and I didn't do what I should have done and followed my dream. So I understand how my ideal client feels. So I know you because I was you posts are the ones that your ideal client will resonate with the best. So let's go back to makeup. If you sell makeup, perhaps you sell makeup because you discovered it and you discovered how much better you felt and how much better you looked and what a difference it made to your self-confidence when you used it. Tell them that. I know you because I was you. Because there may be somebody out there right now who's feeling how you used to feel before you discovered your particular brand, product, service, whatever it is you're offering. And number 7, my final point, and this is one of my favorite points ever in anything, and I'm so pleased I wrote it down, so I'm going to be big-headed about that. Paint a picture of what good looks like. I used to say this to my team when I was a store manager, when I was a divisional executive. What does good look like in the industry that you are in the field that you are in? Paint a picture for your ideal client of what good looks like. Now, some people can't imagine. So your job is to not only tell them, but to show them and to encourage them. So paint a picture of what good looks like, but don't just tell them, show them, encourage them. We are all different in our sensory approach to life. So if you tell me something, I might listen 20%. If you show me something, you might get an additional 30%. So I'm at 50% now. If you encourage me to have a go myself, or if you encourage me to participate, then you've got me up to about 75, 80%. So bear in mind that when you are talking to people, painting a picture of what good looks like. So if you're a coach, for instance, I've used makeup for the last sort of 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So let's use something different. If you're a coach, what does good look like after people have worked with you? So let's say you're a life coach and you're going to help somebody to live a more fulfilled and better life and build their confidence. What do they look like beforehand? Before working with you, what does Mrs. Ideal Client look like? After working with you, what does Mrs. Ideal Client or Mr. Ideal Client look like? This is really important. People need to understand the value of the product or service you have, the investment that they are prepared to make in it, and how that's going to make a difference to their life, because nobody does anything for nothing. There has to be a reason for us wanting to do things. We are creatures of habit. We are human. There needs to be purpose and there needs to be reason in everything that we do. So give them that purpose and reason, painting the picture of what good looks like. Now, I am not even going to apologize if this is granny sucking egg stuff for you and you already know all of this. If you already know all of this, why are you still here? Why are you not doing something more important? And if this helps you a little bit, if one of these points resonates with you, go and do it. So these are my 7 top tips. This is what I've told you tonight on how to write more engaging content. There is some wisdom in this. Okay, I'm not just spouting bullshit here to you. There is some wisdom in this. So I'm going to go over them again. Number 1 is be you. Stop looking at everybody else and trying to be them. Trust yourself and be amazingly unique, wonderful you. Number 2, if you have something to say, say it. Be bold, be daring, be honest, have an opinion. Don't be a sheep. Yeah? Number 3, every time you speak, speak directly to your ideal customer. Change the topic, pace, and story, but speak directly to them all of the time. Imagine you're in a room together and you are talking, not writing. Number 4, make a list of every single pain point your ideal client has and solve every single one of them. I want you to go down into the minutiae. Number 5, weave your story through your content. Let them know they are not alone. Number 6, I know you because I was you. I'm not going to say any more about that. Number 7, paint a picture of what good looks like. Some people can't imagine. Remember this. So tell them, show them, encourage them. Those 3 things there. This, it's very simple. Mind map for you is available. If you want it, tell me you want it in the comments and I will send it to you on Messenger. If you're not already a friend of mine, add me as a friend. Then I can find you easily on Messenger, but tell me if you want it and I will send you this simple 1-page document out free of charge to help you think about how to write your content every single time that you sit down to write it, because that's one of the most important jobs that you have as an entrepreneur, is to engage your ideal client, draw them towards you, allow them to choose you, and allow them to choose to buy from you, work with you, doesn't matter what you do. Yeah. It's about bringing people towards you and sorting out the people who are not your ideal client through your content. Remember, it's a sieve. Imagine that you're in the gold rush and you just got one of those big round sieves and you're just shaking it and all the dirt is falling out. And what is left in there when you're finished? Gold. And the gold is your ideal clients. Okay, so that's my message to you tonight. I hope that is really helpful for you and that you've got something out of that. And if you have, please say so. It's really good to get feedback. And if you don't like it, don't watch again and don't say anything. If you can't be kind, don't say anything. So have a wonderful week, everybody. I will see you same time next week with some more golden nuggets from Mandy that will help you in your business. Have a wonderful week. Bye for now.